Hey, what's up, people? This is Ike Love, creator and author of the blog, The Viable Alternative, which is an inspirational blog where I share the wisdom and insights gained along my path of becoming a greater, stronger version of myself. Now, you notice I'm speaking slower. A friend of mine, she told me that speak too fast. So I'm trying to speak slower. But I got some good news. Now, so when I came back from Europe, it was the second week of June, which I think was, so I came back 11/12, and I recorded a video on I think the 13th or 14th. I came back on a Monday of that week, and I think I recorded the video on a Tuesday or Wednesday, because I took the Tuesday off and I recorded the video on Wednesday and on Thursday. It's very important why I'm saying this, but anyway. Yeah, so I recorded the video, and in the video, the video was titled "How My Trip to Europe Changed Me," and I posted on YouTube. I actually didn't post the video on Facebook because due to my own insecurity, I didn't think people were going to be interested, so I just decided not to post it on Facebook. I did post it on YouTube, and I just shared the changes and insights I had gained from my trip to Europe. And during the video, I had made a declaration that I was going to, because I just was so ecstatic about actually achieving like my goal of traveling that I had set the previous November. And when I was there in Europe, I was just like, okay, so I was asking myself, okay, so why are you not doing this more often? So when I had come back, I was just like kind of like looking to make some changes in my life so that I can live how I wanted to live. And one of the declarations I made on the video was to change around my finances, like, continue working on my finances. The declaration I made at the beginning of the year was to change my financial situation. If any of you know me and read my blog or I talk on my videos, is I just been living for a good part of my adult life struggling with finances. All right. So my vow this year was to make changes in that. I've made that other years, but this year I've actually made a lot of headway. So during the video, one of the things I said I was going to do, and I'll get into the whole explanation around that, was I was going to open up an investment account in E-Trade. And I said I didn't care how long it was going to take for me to put up the money or to save the money, but by hook or by crook, I was going to save the money and open up an account in E-Trade. Of course, E-Trade is a $500 minimum to open up the account. And I didn't want to, you can just put whatever amount of money you want in Stash or Acorn, but I was like, screw that, I know E-Trade because I used to help my dad, and I want to do E-Trade. I want to save up money, prove to myself I can save up money, and open up an investment account in E-Trade. So, of November, okay, well, it's actually November 18th, but I actually got the rest of the money yesterday. But of November 17th, okay, gosh, I look like such one of these cool rappers who be throwing their money, but I'm not trying to do it for this thing. But I got the money together to open up my E-Trade accounts. So I set the goal like around June 13, June 14. So now about November 17th, it took me, actually it took me 5 months. Jesus Christ, it took me that long to save $500. And it's not really, $500 is not a big deal. I do know that, but it's not a big deal. In a sense, it is a big deal for me because, like I said, due to my situation. And I know for some people it's not a big deal, but in the overall picture of my life, it is a big thing. Because to get into explanation about the significance of all this is, so yeah, I made a goal of working on my finances. One of the reasons why I started therapy was because I had not been making any headway in my life about dealing with my finances. So I was just like, I need a therapist now to go into the deeper issues I have that causes the situation I'm dealing with money. And because as you very well know, whether you're dealing with money issues or relationship issues or like your health or weight issues, it's never about that surface issue itself. There are deeper issues underlining that that are causing what you're dealing with now on the surface. So I wanted to now delve into the deeper issues I had around money. And up until I've had a lot of emotional healing. In fact, I had a huge breakthrough last year after this harrowing situation I had dealt with last year. And it was just a mess. But on the other side, I had a huge healing last year. It was amazing, and that opened the way for me to go to Europe and start saving to go to Europe, or actually declaring I was going to go to Europe and make that happen. And that, when the new year started, was when I was literally guided by God. Like, I started intuitively doing things in order to now start to change my money situation. It was kind of like I led, instead of tackling the big issues, because for years, I would just focus on the fact of the actual surface cosmetic issue of scarcity. And I will try to, hustle more or work harder or chase money and just doing those surface things, and be disciplined and pursuing my goals or whatever, but it never really worked. And I started saying, okay, you know what, man, instead of attacking, if you want to bring down a whole building, instead of like just trying to peel away and attack the whole building, you take a little like chisel and you chip away at the foundation. You chip all around, and eventually speaking, you're going to chip enough that the whole building would crumble. So I'm trying to chip at chip at the foundation of your scarcity and the mindset behind that, and the other issues and traumas and behaviors and habits that are tied around that. So, intuitively or divinely, I was guided kind of what to do. The first thing I did was I cleared out all the clutter on my desk, because the mindset was this. I said to myself, what am I doing in my life, or what conditions do I have in my life now that reflect my decisions, the decisions I made because I was in scarcity? In other words, like, what around me reflects my scarcity, or what around me exists because of my scarcity mindset and my excuse that I had no money, right? So one of the things, you look here, my room let me back up. I start with the clutter in my desk. I get kind of lost. So I know cluttered desk, cluttered mind. A lot of, if you have clutter in your desk, it's the reflection of the mind that's cluttered, So intuitively, I was led to unclutter my desk. So I cluttered my desk. I took all the business cards that was lying around. I stored them away. I threw out all the junk, and did a lot of decluttering on my desk, And I said, I don't know what this is going to do in the whole bigger picture, but I just feel this is something that reflected my lack in my life. All right. Then I started changing kind of like my spiritual behavior, in the sense that instead of praying and asking God for money, I started thanking Him as I already had the money. And what I also did, the first thing I did, I started doing fasting. I started doing with 12 hours for, let's say, 3 days in a row. Then I moved to a 24-hour fast, and I moved to a 48-hour fast. And during that fast, I was saying dangerous prayers. What they're called dangerous prayers, because you're saying declarations against the spiritual forces that are blocking your life. Because I'm trying to get this thing at all angles, whatever it may case be. Call me a nut or a kook, I don't give a damn actually what you think. But this is my life and my experience, so I said, let me come into that. But in doing that, like, I was thanking God because, sorry, I'm getting confused again. Fasting gathers your angels together to fight for you, for whatever forces that are blocking you. So while during the fasting, I was saying, knowing now that it has forces behind me, because that's what fasting does. Also, it makes you more centered and grounded, because you're not focusing, or your body resources are not so now geared towards like digesting food. It's because you're not eating anymore. They're freed up now to actually, for you to be more centered and grounded and stuff like that. So with the fasting, I was doing the declarations of my wealth and my prosperity. So that now started shifting my mindset of how to see things. I started seeing things and started to come from a place as if things were already done. Instead of looking at the situation I was in, I said, screw this, I'm going to look at things already done. Hasn't always been easy. I still struggle with that. But again, I'm trying now to turn around the mindset, right? What also I was led to do was to paint my room. Now, my whole thing was that I was said to myself, because I have like other roommates here. And so I said to myself, listen, well, my excuse for not painting my room was like, I'll treat my place right when I actually get my own place, so that I can now then I will be able to focus it and do what I want with it, you know. But God said to me, if you want to be blessed with bigger things, you have to make the best of the little things you have first, you know. Start at the beginning. So that's what I decided to do. Decided to paint my room and act as if, you know, I'm living already the life that I want to live. I said, you know what, man, this cardboard box, if I have a cardboard box, I'm going to make a castle out of it, you know. And so with that, yeah, it was just me undoing the things that I initially had done because of a scarcity mindset. I was like tying the different knots that I made in my life, you know. And so yeah, that was so then, you know, as you know, I went to Europe, had the success of going to Europe, and coming back from Europe, I was like, okay, what more changes could I make in my life? Now, I ashamedly had never saved money in years. You know, when I actually had my first gig, when I was like 20, I just turned 24, I was working for IBM. I was living at home. I was actually, you know, living and doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And I was saving a G a month, and I was investing in stocks, actually investing in real estate. But you know, after that ended, I left the job, and you know, scarcity set in. You know, I decided that I couldn't save because everything I needed, you know, I had to live from hand to mouth. So I told myself, you know. But listening to YouTube videos, people like Dr. Boyce Watkins, he runs the Black Business School, and he was a former finance professor at Syracuse. And listen to people like Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk, and just over and over and over and over again, listen to different successful people and watching what they do to accumulate wealth. It kind of got ingrained in my head about one of the things to create wealth is to invest in the stock market. The other two are starting your own business and investing in real estate. Those are tried and true ways. I mean, of course, people play the lottery or gamble or inherit money from their dead grandmother, or even deal drugs, which again, those aren't tried and true. Those are not tried and true ways though. But I said, okay, in the past, I didn't save money because of scarcity or perceived scarcity. Well, I now want to create abundance in my life, so I'm going to do that behavior by now saving money. Hence this. I got $500 now. I'm going to deposit it tomorrow, and I'm going to open up an account in E-Trade and start now investing in stocks. You know, I say to my circumstances, screw you. I'm going to live how I want to live anyway, despite the way things may look. And you saw in my last video, I said, do not let your circumstances bully you. You know, you make the best of the little your circumstances are supposed to allow you, or you have what they give. You make the best of that, and you become king of your circumstances due to the fact of your vision of what you want to make with the little you're given. You know, do not let your circumstances bully you to be thinking small. And so I stubbornly said, you know what, man, I'm going to think big anyway. You know, so that herein lies this aspect of my climbing out of the scarcity mindset. And I've, through therapy, because now therapy is the other thing, like everything, one feeds the other, feeds the other, feeds the other. I had a huge breakthrough this week about the relationship with my mother and how that related to my scarcity, which I don't know. I don't want this video to go too long, but let's just say it was a really huge realization. And then I also had realizations, as I've said before, my pops and how that affected my money situation. And the cool thing is, I've gotten to the emotional core of a lot of these issues. Emotional core meaning the 5-year-old child and why he was emotionally compelled to make those decisions. So instead of attacking the symptom or problem itself now, I've been doing a lot of now of what they call self-nurturing, self-care, dealing with the inner child and meeting him at his emotional need so he can feel safe enough now to let go of the emotions or lessen those anxiety and other emotions that led to behavior I had now to create scarcity in my life. I've been able now, and this is like now other part of my journey now that I'm opened up to is really now when I get the anxiety and behavior to do the things that I did to cause me to live in scarcity now, I'm learning now how to supply my own emotional needs, nurture myself at the necessary emotional level that needs nurturing. Something that I guess that I felt I should have gotten from my parents as a little kid, as we all have things we felt we should have gotten from parents, but they didn't give us for whatever reason. Now it comes the time to use the enlightened mind I have now as an adult, obviously, and use that now to reparent myself and that child now, so that it can feel it can feel safe now to let go and let me be as big as I want to be. So now this is like part of the process, you know. So I'm attacking this problem and issue for all ends. So I encourage you now, if you now are dealing with scarcity or lack in your life, you know, start to look at your behaviors and your habits that reflect that what you do, you know. I had an interesting conversation with a coworker like last week who now she struggles with weight, and she's been trying to deal unsuccessfully with her weight problem, you know. I know she was very slim when she was younger. When she got older and blah blah blah, you know, things happen, and she, you know, is not at her ideal weight. And I've known her for a couple of years, and I've seen her just struggles and everything like that, you know, and how she'll say one thing, it'll never come to. If she'll say one thing, she'll not do it, you know, not deliver. But she told me something very interesting when I talked to her this past week. She said to me, you know, one of her things that she did was to drink wine with people or alcohol with people or whatever. So she says, you know, I stopped associating with those people that did a lot of drinking of wine or alcohol and everything. And as of course, I knew someone was going to call me during this conversation, so I'll call this person back. Gosh, man, threw off my flow. Oh, okay. So anyway, she said that hanging out with these certain people, because of their habits, caused her to degenerate into her own bad habits, which led her to spiral down a cycle that led to her weight issue. So one of the things she said, was to get rid of those people of her life. You know, not that she doesn't like them, but, you know, she was a bad influence, and start talking more people that are more healthy. See, what she was trying to do now is start to now eliminate all the bad seeds in her life that are bringing up the bad fruit. Now, will this necessarily thing automatically cause her to sprout into being this like Wonder Woman? No, but it's a step. And as I'm taking steps, and if you want to make change in your life, whatever issue that you're dealing with, you also need to just peg at the little things. Peg the little things as a foundation to bring down the bigger building, you know? And that's what I did, you know? I think for most of my life, I was trying to hit a home run. When really speaking, I needed to hit like, you know, singles and everything, you know? And, you know, like, and win the game sequentially, instead of just trying to hit one big home run. And I know change is a gradual process. So you can check back with me 6 months down the line, a year down the line, and I know for a fact, you know, I will be a greater, stronger version of myself than now when I'm sitting here. You know what I mean? It's making these little gradual changes in my life that is causing me now, I know, to bring down the whole building of this scarcity. So yeah, got this, and I'm going to open up an account. And so now I've just cultivated a new behavior that successful people do. They invest their money. They save and they invest, you know? They save and they invest and everything like that. And so that's part of it. And like I said, yeah, I've also been cleaning my place more. I painted my room. And I'm just being cognizant and prayerful about different habits that I don't see yet, that I don't know that I don't know that I do, that have been a contributor to my scarcity, that I may have consciously chosen at one time as a result of my scarcity mindset, that now went underground, that I'm no longer aware of, that now will be brought to the surface so that I can change that, and we can slowly bring, you know, build a momentum now so that I can bring and attract more money into my life. So I hope all this helps. I will be keeping you guys abreast in this journey. And yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited with my life. I can say for I don't want to do this. I can say for once in my life, there's a friend of mine who talks like that. And I have friends who watch this video and start laughing because they know this person. And I don't want to say the name because he'll probably get angry with this person. But he's a great person. I don't know, I laugh at myself. My life, yo. But really, I'm gonna send this video to my friends to see this. But in any case, oh man, this guy's a legend. So I even lost my train of thought, but who cares? But the point of the matter is that I'm actually really starting to really enjoy my life. And I'll tell you, 2013 was a year that really I was totally miserable because I went back to real estate. I was trying to chase money and it totally sucked because it didn't work, and I hated my life at that time. And I can honestly say now that I really do like my life, and the main reason why is because I really feel that I'm a proactive part of my life. I'm not like being controlled by unseen forces of behavior. By learning how to reparent and nurture myself and things like that, I really honestly feel like not like a victim anymore. I feel like a person who's proactively creating his life, and it's a blessing, and I want to impart that blessing to you. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more things to consider and to like a lot of things and perceptions to change to do that. But it's really a blessing. I'm blessed. I'm blessed, and I thank God. This has been a journey. I would say last year was a difficult year in many levels, but it brought me to this place here now that I can say, yeah, I really feel a proactive part of my life. So I hope this helps. I hope all this helps. If you want to read more on my blog, go to www.theviablealternative.com, and you'll see the website. I'm going to put it in the video, obviously. You can also follow me on Twitter, TheViableAlt. And if you like this video, please click on like. Please comment that you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please share. And I don't know or think I have anything else to say or laugh about. But take care. God bless. And peace.